Hello, everyone. Welcome once again to our Friday Eloi Talk Show. We are delighted to have you here with us, and today we are going to continue talking about various aspects of life, various things that we need to know as human beings in our community. Today, with us, we have the executive director and a pastor, a person who has read the Bible, who has studied about human life, who has passed through a lot, and this one caused him to start up an organization that basically focuses upon people's lives and how he can improve people's ways of living. Welcome, Mr. Tendo.
Thank you so much, Sam, for having me.
We are delighted to have you today. Thank you for joining us. Many people have been asking a lot of questions about Eloi. How did Eloi start? Why is Eloi bringing out many programs? People are excited about knowing what caused you to start up this organization. Can you please briefly talk to us about the reasons that caused you to start up this organization?
Eloi Ministries came out of a real life experience. There are so many things that we go through as individuals, and we either learn from them or we die both spiritually and physically out of them. And Eloi Ministries is something, or Eloi Africa is something that came out of the pain, the anguish, the struggles, the injustices that we saw in the community, that I experienced as an individual, lessons that I learned from my own family, losing parents when I was still young.
Yeah.
And those experiences brought a positive rage in my heart that forced me to continue advocating for the rights, to continue fighting against the injustices that I experienced while I was young. Eloi was started in 2014 within my mind. I was a very young boy. My parents died or were killed when I was 13 years, and that was in 1998. And so 13 years comes with a lot of emotions, a lot of vulnerability, a lot of things that come to you, most especially when you're in Africa, that seem not to be friendly to anyone of that age. You will be judged by the community. Nobody will be having your personal interests at heart the way your parents would have had. That was a time I needed guidance a lot because I was just becoming a teenager.
Thank you so much, Mr. Tendo. Thank you so much. We have really got to understand where Eloi started from. But I'll pose a question. These are four major areas that you focus upon in Eloi Africa, that is health, education, access to justice, and environment and climate mitigation. I'll pose a question. Why did you, what caused you to think about improving people's health in the communities? Is it that when your parents, when you lost your parents, you suffered maybe certain diseases, maybe your relatives passed through certain situations when it comes to health? What caused you to have the heart of improving people's health standards?
Well, it's not that I had to suffer kwashiorkor or polio or anything like that that would have damaged my health in order for me to see and understand the needs of the community.
Yes, sir.
But it all came about in my senior four vacation when I started. I think it was a little bit senior four, but the holidays that I had, I worked with Optimation. It's a mission organization in Uganda that does evangelism in the entire country. And I had an opportunity to travel almost back part of Uganda. And what I realized and what I discovered in the communities was horrible, was scary. As you may be aware that we've been in operation as Eloi Africa for over 15 years. And so the programs have been evolving based on the needs of the community. We did not start with all the 4 programs, but as time went on, we realized that you cannot send a child to school when they are sick. So we realized that a health mind or is a healthy body, or healthy body, health mind. And so we involved ourselves in preventive methods of diseases. That's why we do a lot of primary health care, which is PHC, to make sure that we prevent. We do more of preventive than curative methods of disease control. And so when we realized that we could support that kind of help to support the school-going children to go to school, we also realized that if the parents are not stable at home, if the child is coming from a violently affected environment, they cannot still go to school. And then we came up with a program that is Access to Justice, which is broad. We look at human rights, we look at GBV is gender-based violence, we look at domestic violence, we look at child protection, we look at so many things, and making the people aware. We are not looking for criminals to take them to police, much as that is part of what we do. Yeah. We look out to the community to make them aware of the effects of their actions to each other. The actions that involve battering women at home, battering children, the effects of getting involved in mob justice, the effects of raping children or mistreating children. And so when the community is enlightened and is aware of what is happening and the consequences of those incidents, I think they better position themselves and learn about how to handle themselves in the community than waiting to go all the way to offending others and then they are taken into custody. Then the 4th program, which is in environment and climate change mitigation, came about during the last 5 years when global warming became a thing. When we were growing up, we never knew that there would be a time when the seasons change and there is no rain. We never knew that there would be a time when food becomes scarce. We grew up in abundance of food where we could go to the garden, tend to the land, and get all the food. Right now, things are very different. The world has become a global village, the climate has changed, seasons have changed, and people are starving in most parts of the world. So in order to be cautious of what might happen in Uganda, we decided to come up with a program that makes the community aware of the mother nature, makes the community aware of how best they can tend to the land that has supported ages and ages of our ancestors in the community, by making sure that the nutrients are preserved, making sure that the trees are also kept to allow the rainfall. Instead of deforestation, we should forestate such that there is a maximum kind of rainfall, and which leads to growing of crops and food security. The list goes on, and I think because of the interest of time, I will leave it at that. But I welcome any question. If there is anything that I have not touched according to your expectations as viewers, feel free to shoot me an email. Feel free to share your views with us. Ask for clarity. We'll be able to give you the information that you need.
Wow. Thank you so much, Mr. Ted. And I believe people seeing us over there, you're trying to understand where Eloi came from. Now, Mr. Tendo, our executive director, thank you for the services you're doing in the organization. We are seeing the organization is reaching out to many people. Many people are being blessed. Many people in clinics, in the hospitals. Many children are being blessed. Now, I'll pose a question, though I've said that many people are being blessed. Our audience may want to know what are some of the measures that you've put in place as the executive director and the president of this organization to see that these 4 programs can really reach to the people. Can you please tell us some of the measures you've put in place to make sure that these programs reach final consumers?
As you may be aware, the challenges that Uganda is facing, much as we have our own unique challenges, and not isolating challenges. There are challenges that are global, challenges that the US is facing, challenges that the entire world is facing. And so we cannot do this alone. We cannot do this by on our own. So we involve the communities, we involve the leaders from grassroots, we involve stakeholders of all sorts of kind to make sure that the beneficiaries right at the grassroots benefit from our programs. We do mobile clinics where we go to the communities that are really, really in need, and we treat these different diseases. We donate different kind of staff that would help with the health, that would help in normal, life style. And we also use social media platforms to make people aware of what is happening and how they should improve. We also try our level best to make sure that we go down to the grassroots. Here in America, things are a little bit different, that people reach out to us and we also reach out to them. So it's a two-way. We look for them to get the support, but they also find out that we exist and they come and receive the support that is needed here. Of course, we replicated the model in Uganda and brought it here to the US, where we do access to justice, but mainly for the new Americans that people would call refugees or asylum seekers or people that have left their homes and come to this country without any help, without any family. So we may not brag that we provide everything, but we try as much as possible to make sure that we create a humane condition that is necessary for these people to feel welcome, to feel protected, to feel understood, seen, and heard in the community. There's so many activities that we do, like apartment furnishing, counseling and guidance, linking the people to the services, which are pro bono, legal help, jobs, health care access, and so on and so forth. So the way we have positioned ourselves is that we are part of the community, and the community should access us so easily than being up there because we are not serving anybody apart from our community. So we are involved in the community, we are in the community, and the community is aware that we are there. And so we learn as the community is learning, and we care for our community because we live within the community.
Wow. Thank you so much. Though you talked about some of the challenges as you were starting, the question I've asked you, still I'll pose this question again to please enlighten for us and our viewers seeing us out there. What are some of the challenges you faced as an ED in the process of implementing this calling or the desire you've been having since your young stage?
The challenges are enormous, and the achievements are also enormous, but I normally don't focus on the negatives, because the negatives most of the time are there to align you into your calling. As you're aware that we started when we were very young, Eloi has been growing. As we grow, we've learned a lot. We've learned a lot in leadership, we've learned a lot in management, we've learned a lot in the way of delivering services to the community. And the challenges have grown as the organization also grows, because the more we grow, the more number of people that are accessing us, and the more needs that we get to understand that exist in the community. But what is most important is the love of the community towards our work. We've been embraced, we've been welcomed in places, so many places in Uganda. We've been welcomed and loved here in the US. We have been recognized for the good work that we are doing in the community, and that's what is most important. The bottlenecks will always be there, but the ability to navigate through them and remain standing for years and operating for years is incredible. To me, this is not a tend of showbiz. the involvement of the community, the involvement of the team that is behind all these activities. I think it's incredible. We have notable people that have stood with us, organizations like Vitamin Angels, Crossroads Foundation, Angry Tears and the Warriors. We've got Amnesty International. We've had so many. I may not mention all of them offhand, but there are so many partners, so many organizations, so many individuals that are doing an incredible job. The management, the board of directors Uganda, the board of directors here USA, Brian Gilbado, Mighty Gilbado, Rachel, Alexandra. There are so many people that are saying we will not stop. We have to keep going. And even in Uganda, the chairman, board of directors, Mr. Chibi, Mrs. Zimpanga, and so many others that are doing an incredible job to make sure that what we started does not stop, continues to impact the community. And also the testimonies that we are getting from the community makes us feel relevant to the community, and we promise that we'll continue doing what we can to contribute towards a better tomorrow.
Wow. Thank you so much, Mr. Tendo. Really, this has been a great conversation we are having today. And I believe our viewers there, you're learning a lot. One thing I've learned, that the challenges we pass through in life when we are implementing our calling or the things that we feel like doing should always just help us to stand in a calling, not putting us back. I've really learned that so much. Thank you, and I believe even our viewers there are being blessed. I'll pose one other question. As a leader, what are some of the challenges you faced? Because Eloi is not only in Uganda or Africa, but we are also having Eloi in USA. So I understand you're having many people on board that you're leading, both in Africa and in USA. How have you managed to lead these people so that they can do your calling, they can fulfill what you're desiring on your heart? Because I believe it's not easy. So what are some of the tactics that have helped you as the ED to implement your calling?
Number one, you have to introduce your calling to the people with grace. And as you advance orienting people about the calling, you find out that now they are aware of what is happening, they are aware of the calling, and now it's time for me to make another step. And most of the steps that we take after a person has been brought to us, or after a person has been admitted to work with us, is to try our level best to train that person, our culture, our values, our heart, our mission, our objectives. And so the moment we have trained this person, our clear objectives, our clear mission and vision, and then the culture, it becomes very easy if this person is really having a heart for the community. Are there challenges? Yes, there are many challenges, because as people join us, they come with different motives, they come with different ambitions and visions, and some just come to use a platform as a road to their destination. And what I've learned through the years is that once somebody says, this is not a good fit for me, the door is always open for them to leave. Because the worst thing you can do is to start forcing somebody to subscribe to what you believe in, because they will not, and that is going to create a disaster. The free will of exit and entry has helped us get people aligned closely with our mission, vision, and objectives, which is incredible.
Wow, thank you so much. And I believe our viewers, you're learning a lot from our executive director's message or conversation with us. I'll pose a question that I'll end with today. Why do you see Eloi Africa as the executive director? God has taken us from far. When you told us you started in 2013, so it is not a short journey. We thank God for where we have reached. But then, as the executive director, the man that Moses we are having, the one who is holding the calling of the organization, why are you seeing Eloi? Maybe in the future.
I see Eloi developing its own model that's going to be replicated in so many countries.
Yeah.
Strengthening its leadership and also making sure that it aligns its goals and objectives and strengthens the internal management. One of the things that we are looking at is, instead of supporting so many people out there to go to school, most especially the younger children, we are thinking of maybe starting our own schools where we can have our own kids immersed in our culture, trained, and take it a day at a time or a step at a time to make sure that our bit of impact that we create in this world stays and remains for the future generation.
Wow, thank you so much, Mr. Tendo. We thank you so much for joining us today, and we also appreciate our viewers over there. Thank you for joining, thank you for loving our Eloi Friday talk show. Today we have been having our executive director, the president of Eloi Africa. As I told you, Eloi Africa is not only focusing about Africa, but we are also having Eloi USA. Eloi Africa has its own programs, the 4 major programs, as you say, and Eloi USA is also having programs that is focusing about. Would you like to partner with us, donate, support our programs, or join the many activities we do in Eloi Africa and Eloi USA? The door is open. And I believe, Mr. Tendo, you have something more to speak about this.
I want to invite people who are sane and who are having the heart for the community. Number one, to follow us on our social media platform. Give comment, talk to us, let us know where we are performing well and where we are not performing well. We are accountable to you as you are accountable to us. And we also invite people to volunteer your time. 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, a day, 2, a month. Let us go together to the field and experience Eloi work in action. We also invite donors, partners, funders, people who have a heart, people who want to implement a project but you don't know how or you don't know where. We are available to talk to you. We want people that we can work with to transform our communities, both in Uganda and the US. And I believe that the work is enormous and the doors are widely open for us to chat and see how best we can navigate through these programs.
Thank you so much, Mr. Tendo. Thank you so much, our viewers, our followers, our audience. Thank you for joining us today. Today, this has been our 3rd episode of the Eloi Africa Talk Show. Wait for many more conversations that are going to impact the community, and always join us every Friday. Be ready for our talk show. I believe you'll be blessed. Tell a friend, invite someone, tell someone about this Friday talk show. I believe they are going to be blessed as you also keep on following us. See you next time. Thank you.